like I always do. All right, we are looking live. All right. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is just basically the first portion of the audio checks, making sure everything looks alive and well. See myself. The first portion of the audio checks, making sure everything looks alive and well. Well, I checked the audio. Audio is working fine. I sound beautiful. I think. I could be lying. All right. Put that there. I will close that. I will close that. I will shrink this down. Nemo is getting himself a drink, and I am babbling away. Oh, wait. So, I'm going to adjust my mic because I can. I guess that will work. I hope that will work. I think that will work. I will completely adjust the mic so it's kind of a little further away from me and a little leaning that way. Okay, fine. Don't lean that way. You know how you like to try to adjust a mic and it doesn't work all the time? Okay, I gotta grab something to adjust this mic. Okay, cool. Now, there. Okay. That's a bit better. Right. Mic is no longer in my face. Well, Nemo is pouring himself a Coke. Hey, what did that other thing go? Ah, crap. Oh, there you go.
Alright.
Alright, well, technically we're kind of live. I'm about to hit the music. Hear the music?
Hey, you guys.
I guess you don't want to hear the music, do you?
Oh.
Yeah, we have music.
Nice.
And playing.
Not playing the music, so.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?
Alright, so that's just a brief 1 minute introduction. There you go. How about that? I'll play around with that a little bit better.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. It's called Fight Back. It's from an artist called Netflix.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So,
hello,
welcome,
everybody.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Red Pill Compendium. I am one half of your host, the Canadian Rogue, better known as Robert Kumitz, along with Nemo, the flamboyant fish from Down Under. Yeah, I'm always going to give you something interesting.
I'm not flamboyant. Fuck you. Just because my race can change its genders doesn't mean I'm flamboyant. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well.
I would hope so. Everybody's doing well. As you can see, I've just transitioned. Oh my god, we're transitioning to a new screen. And I can also type in and say hi.
Nice.
What? It didn't pop up? That. Master everything. Oh, also, I've got to readjust something. All right. So, anyway, I thought the chat would pop up, but apparently the chat's not working anymore. That makes no sense.
Wait, chat rules. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. You know, it's the chat rules. Chat rules are pretty basic for the GNF. Very, very basic. It's a free speech platform. If you want to be a cunt, you can be a cunt.
Yeah, actually, I don't think we do have that rule.
Yeah.
Don't be a cunt. I think it's just don't be violent.
Pretty much. It follows the non-violent acts up to a certain point.
The non-aggression principle.
Yeah, non-aggression.
And even then, it's kind of loose.
Hello, Pen. How are you doing?
Oh, that's sweet.
We're
for now.
No, I don't know. Let's fix this. Anywho. So how have you been, Nemo? Will I play around and fixing things?
I've been pretty good, just working away with my channel and my job.
Whacking away with any channel in your job, as per usual? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, it's a job I can do at home, so I can whack all I like. Maybe when my account manager calls.
Rules are for squares like me. Yes, Pan, you are a square, and we have to show the figure for you eventually.
Yeah. Yes. You're next, Pan.
Yes, you're next. I've got the dragon doing something. I've got Nemo doing something extra. And now it's up to you, girl. So.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. I've just been enjoying some of the news and stuff that's been going on lately. Had a pretty interesting week. I had the State of the Union thing, which was pretty uneventful, but then you've also had the aftermath of Jordan Peterson on that show. And what else have we had in the news?
We've had a few weird little things.
You got the release the memo thing coming up, but that's more political.
The memo gate, or memo, whatever it is.
Hashtag release the memo.
Yeah, that's supposed to come out sometime within the week, maybe within the next couple of weeks. Democrats hate the idea. The Republicans think it's a great idea, to a point. Everybody is looking at the FBI going, what you done do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just one of those weird little things. God. Apparently, it's February for those who care, and YouTube is unleashing its new program on everybody. Thank God we're over here on the Gator and Frog Twitch cast.
Yeah. You can't stop me from fapping as much as I like.
He does have lube, he does have oils, and he does have soft, smooth jazz.
Mm. By the way, how bad of an idea would it be to use weed oil to do that?
I'm not gonna touch that with 10-foot pole, sir. I'm not even gonna touch with any pole, even yours.
No. I just had that thought because I was talking to someone today, and they'll go, "Oh, we do cannabis oil." I'm like, "Oh," and then that reminded me, oil. I'm like, "Huh."
It will. It won't react the way how you think it will react. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I know. I don't think it'd be a wise science experiment.
You're mid-whack, and all of a sudden your eyes dilate. Go, whoa.
My hand is so big.
Oh, it makes my penis look even huge, man. Yes.
Talking like classic people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, fuck me. Anywho. But let's briefly talk about the most scary. Okay, Pen, brace yourself. I'm about to do something that you're going to hate. I'm going to transition to something, and I hope. Oh, good. It's a clear screen. Thank God. Whew. Here, I thought it was going to be something even more scarier because I'm just about to pop that thing up there. That scary person is ALISON TIEMAN. Hi, ALISON. She is the lead figure of the Honey Badger. Oh, she will be coming up soon. Yes. Well, keep in mind there is a delay.
Yeah.
Delay on Twitch. So Rogue is a trans. Yeah. I'm firm. Yes. Anywho, ALISON TIEMAN has decided to make an analysis on Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. The first one was how Jordan Peterson won, but he quote unquote won, but he shouldn't be hard on himself on how he won, and this one's why he lost.
I'm not. I only went into enough to get this little screen cap. That is it. I am not going to get any more on this one. You unfortunately had the
duty. I'm going to say.
Oh God. You punished yourself and watched this entire thing. So please let me know exactly. Is this something that I should submit myself, or
No,
just
you
kind of?
shouldn't. It's really like I'd say if you've seen part 1, you've seen part 2.
I haven't seen any, and I'm quite happy.
If you haven't even seen part 1, then I'd recommend you watch part 1 because submitting yourself to it is worth it just to understand how off base Alison is with what Peterson wants to achieve.
But Nemo, keep in mind that I was a patronage to this beautiful person on screen, and I was also behind the scenes for some of their operations, and I know how much off base she is, to a point where she eventually told me that my money is no longer good enough for her.
Wow.
Figured that one out.
Yeah. As I said, I've worked with her before, but I haven't pissed her off enough where we've had, confrontsies.
Oh well, then you haven't done anything good until you've finally come to my end of the spectrum.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll do a basic summary. Basically, she was talking about she was basically going to her, what I would argue her best work, which was done about 15 years ago, which was her threat narrative series. And she was rehashing that old topic and explaining how Jordan Peterson used threat narrative perfectly when he basically said, ha, gotcha.
Okay.
And, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was disagreeing. To a degree, okay.
Yeah, because her whole thing is that this was entirely about threat narratives. This was entirely about men's rights, and it was entirely about basically that very finite thing that it was about. And I don't think she quite understands that it's about a lot more than that. And Jordan Peterson's last thought is quote unquote men's rights. It's really about self-improvement, which just happens to be a thing men need more than women. Or I guess Jordan Peterson's style of self-improvement is more needed by men than women,
Well, when it comes down to it, you look at this. You have to look at this giant spectrum of where we are in the modern time frame, where women have more things that they can possibly do and achieve than most men starting into the world. So it is quite unfortunate that the women's in certain degree believe that they're considered the underclass, when in actuality they are more so than the underclass. They're the ruling class to a point.
Yeah. It's very much like that. And also he's talking about all the issues that they are facing that need to be addressed, not just for the men themselves, but for society itself.
Well, society
itself. It's a lot more bigger picture, And once again, Alison tends to make it very much about a very small, simple thing. And once again, the fact that she at one point is speaking directly to Jordan Peterson, and she's trying to explain the threat narrative to a fucking clinical psychologist, and I think that just takes some guff.
Yeah, well, Alison does that quite often. She's trying to go up against somewhat of a historian when it comes down to World War, and someone who's took their time to study the ins and outs of both sides, why certain things happened, and her conflating the idea of circumcision was forced upon men through the women gender is completely incorrect.
Oh yeah, and of course, and I am totally against circumcision, or male genital mutilation, as I like to put it. But it's not a thing that was done by a matriarchy. It was done by
the military. Well,
but by a societal structure.
True.
That decided this would be a very good way of solidifying, I guess, the group.
Well, again, you're
all going to go through something fucking nasty to make each other, more united.
Correct. I mean, if you take it as a religious concept, then yes, we're looking at a lot of Jews who've decided to unite to take one for the God team. As I, beat my little chest and put the two fingers up. Yep. And then you have for the military base, that actually didn't happen until about, I believe the First World War, roughly around World War One, World War Two, somewhere in that time frame, where it was actually introduced to the American military at large, because the enlisted soldiers who were going to fight were not only put under a huge strenuous position of going to battle across seas, but they also went under and had a bit of snip for the team. So you try having a circumcision as a male at a later age and doing your basic calisthenics that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
No.
So
when
I was going to add one more thing.
Yeah.
One of the I guess the ancient uses of circumcision. We're not talking about, because I think it's fairly useless now, but let's talk about why it was originally invented. And another reason, apart from the ones you mentioned, would also be identifying that person's part of your tribe.
Correct.
When a woman, when the guy takes off his pants and he's not circumcised, the girl knows, wait a minute, you're not part of my tribe. Get the fuck out of my tent, or hut, or whatever the fuck they had at that point in history.
No, that's true. But no.
Well, let's read Penny Alison to the contrarian feminism. Here's the thing. Let me be the men's rights. The right is gaining popularity. I'll sympathize with you, the left. Jordan Peterson's popular. Let me try to counter his viewpoints, even though I have no idea about psychology. That's actually pretty close to what she's doing. Yeah. She's agreeing with him, but only in the ways that suit her agenda.
Which stands to reason that's kind of what she's always done. I mean, she's always taken the a road less traveled. Well, not really. A road always traveled in this case, and then and kind of goes and I'm like going, and what? And then add some other bullshit that she wants to throw on top of it, and then I kind of go, wait, no, that's bullshit. It was a road that no one had bullshit on, and you decided to fling shit all over the place and say, yeah, this is truth. And
exactly.
And when somebody kind of goes and contradicts your truth, you have all these people coming out of nowhere to, say, no, it is the truth. Look, she is the Messiah that can't do wrong. I'm sorry, but ALISON TIEMAN can do a lot of wrong.
Oh, she has done a lot of wrong, and she's very, very much about doing this. Like, she does this for herself and no one else. I don't think she's a compassionate participant in the men's rights movement.
Well, if you take the badges, at least the core badges, you divide them all up. The three. I know there used to be 5 or whatever it was, but the 3.
Yeah.
You're looking at ALISON TIEMAN. You're looking at Karen Strong, and the other one, which is Hannah.
Hannah Edwards.
Yeah.
Hannah something.
Whatever. Wallens? I think it's Wallens?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Well, Hannah, anyway.
Hannah Wallen, that's right.
Wallen. Anyways, Hannah is a Wiccan, I believe. If I remember correctly. Yes. She has this whole personality of a Wiccan, so that's kind of on the basis of a religion all by itself.
Yes,
which I think it's kind of funny, even though she's supposed to have this kind of atheistic approach to things, but she approaches it with a more of a Wiccan personality. Whereas, what was it? Karen Strong, who is one of the stronger out of the entire Badger collective, she doesn't need to be a Badger.
No.
And
if anything, I'd argue she's not a Badger.
No, that's true. If anything, she is the lone wolf out of the entire group. And if it wasn't for her, I doubt that the honey badgers would still be a thing.
I would agree with that.
Now, I can understand Karen's plight because of the factor that she's got boys and she's got a dog in the fight. Okay?
Yeah.
So.
And once again, yes, it is a very, how do I put this? Not necessarily selfish, but it's the reason affects her and her family and nothing else. You know what I mean?
That is true. I mean,
it just so happens if it has positive effects for people outside of that, that's very good. But her motivations aren't what's the word? Altruistic.
Well, again, regardless of the factor, she's a mother with a mission.
Yeah,
right?
of course. And a mother would see these issues coming.
Yes.
Would do the logical thing and try and help.
Well, especially if it's their children that are going to be, facing the battle that's coming up front. So every parent is always going to fight for their child to make sure that the child is safe and able to, procreate and whatnot. So again, I can understand Karen's fight in this one. Her plight, I understand it, I get it. And she doesn't come off too egotistical for the most part. But there are some minor issues that I think she could work on. I mean, her face-to-face for her little face cam that she does, I think she can work on the presentation a bit more. But overall, I do like her as a speaker. She's very...
She's a very good speaker.
Yes.
She's good at preparing her script, for lack of a better word. She can be entertaining when she wants to be. And she's, just, I guess, fairly genuine when she speaks.
Yes.
I don't think she's falsely done much, in the way of, like, fundraisers and shit like that. I don't think she's tried to pull the wool over anyone's eyes.
No. And that's the one thing, like I said, she's commendable. Now, all that's left is ALISON TIEMAN, the leader of the Honey Badgers, apparently.
Yeah.
And she's not that much of a leader in some cases. Yeah, she takes a lot of, brunt when it comes down to laws or lawsuits or whatever, shit that's being thrown towards the Honey Badger way. She will take that and then she'll make it her own plight, and she'll use that in order to gain, the coffers, unfortunately.
Of course. But almost all of these, let me add though, and ever since Cal X, have been her own creation of, making this like a lawsuit or a thing.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like this has been put upon her. She's chosen to get into these battles.
Well, yeah, no, and that's something that she could have just simply walked away, allowed the battle to be, what it was, and kind of went, I done fucked up. I'm going to take a little bit of the the bruise. I will, come back to this much later as a better individual, knowing that, in some cases that even though I might be right on some grounds, there's a lot of things that I can truly see that I might come across as maybe a bitch or maybe a little too abrasive or whatever,
Yeah.
That
or
is
maybe just wrong.
Yeah, just outright wrong. And that's something that it is hard to kind of go, yeah, there is a slight problem or whatever, and yeah, I might have to fix it. No, but I doubt that she'll ever want to fix it.
And to try and cover everything Alison's done in a simple, easy way is going to be very hard. And that's why I was hoping to do this just with this one video, just to talk about her logical fallacies with this one video. But even that's a challenge.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? It's a very, very difficult endeavor. Like, it's kind of, I forget who said it, but it takes, 5 minutes to shit on a bed. It takes about 3 hours to clean it,
Yeah, no. And like I said, with Alison, I have a hard time taking the time to sit back, relax, and listen to her narrative and kind of go, okay, that makes sense, this makes sense, this does make sense. And I'm like, okay, this is long-winded. I wish she would just get to a point and call it a day. Because she was...
Exactly.
I mean, it took two parts apparently, to conclude that Dr. Peterson done good. 2 parts.
But her main criticism to him was he shouldn't feel guilty for like what he did with that whole "ha, got you." That was, and also the bit when he went, "Hey, men aren't the majority spenders, women are."
Okay.
He said, because later on Jordan confessed that he felt a bit guilty about that. Oh. He felt like that wasn't really the way to go to create a conversation.
Again, Dr. Jordan Peterson is a psychologist, a psychoanalyst. That's what he does. He looks at the situation and kind of goes, I approached it in this manner. Was this the right manner to approach it in? Did this create a conversation?
And even that point, he never said, I was definitely wrong.
No.
He just suggested maybe I did it wrong. And I think without a doubt that's correct.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what, if he never said that, or maybe he did, hey, you're not making me feel comfortable. And when you go, oh, yeah, you're right, you got me there. If he went, okay, now that we've established that, can we move on and make this a real conversation?
Yeah,
You know,
but
now that you're done making me feel uncomfortable, can we turn this into a conversation where we both get something from it?
yeah, but
And that's what and that was his like reflection thought.
it's
But we don't know that would have worked either. We don't know. You know,
actually. Oh, now I've just lost the word. Thank you, Debo. To do a retrospect inwards upon yourself is what you need to do to reflect on the actions that you took up within any form of strife, like communication or battling between each other, the intercourse, how you managed it, and you actualize the direction. And it takes a lot of effort in order to focus and to readdress and kind of approach it in a different way. Like, for example, we'll take like Ben Shapiro. He already knows how to battle up to a certain point, and he has an idea of what his combatant or the person who's going to critique him, what their narrative might be. So he's already thought ahead, and during the time frame while they're speaking, he's already kind of creating a new narrative for himself. He's creating a script very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And building it that way. But unfortunately, I have to ask this one question.
sure.
It is a two-parter for this blah narrative that ALISON TIEMAN has done. Are they both at least a half hour long?
The first one's 17 minutes. The next one's 31 minutes.
So she spent roughly about 45 minutes, give or take.
Yeah.
She could have done that in one video.
And not only that, I think she could have summed up what she wanted to do in 7 minutes.
Probably, but we are talking.
Because she does repeat herself. She does go on. She doesn't really when she talks about the flash
Yes,
the narrative.
Yeah.
She doesn't really do it in an eloquent way, and it's just, as I said, it's just a very, very long march.
Yeah, well, that sounds about like right for ALISON TIEMAN. She needs more time, a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like the next, I segued to that one.
So sorry, I'll just look like. No, I don't want to be mean, but I look at that face and I look at it. Just
yeah, but
I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to be mean.
No. But anyway, she needs as much time as every other woman in Oxford University.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. At very least, let's move on.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, that's basically what I was doing. So Oxford University is letting women take more time on math tests.
How dare you say women aren't good at math? That's so sexist.
So no, the procedures Oxford University in Britain extended exam time to bid to improve women's score. Students taking math and computer science tests in the summer of 2017 were given an additional 15 minutes to finish, according to documents obtained by the London Times. Now, I can continue, but I think right here would be a good stopping point. I kind of figure where the narrative is going to go. I really do. Because basically, not this one. No, is it this one? No, not that one. I think it's this one. Where here it goes. This is a reporter. Again, this portion here. When women are women worse at math? It's time to stop asking. Now she here says she talks about the stereotype of how women are bad at math, at least performing as such, and she actually puts it in here that she quotes says, "I'm terrible at math." She smiles sheepishly. So she's actually creating that narrative as well. She's adding to that stereotype that all women are bad at math, and She goes on.
Let's be honest here. They're not saying all women. They're saying all women you aspire to be like are bad at math.
Correct.
That's the correct message.
That should be the but it continues, and she talks about being pressured, especially when she does her exams during this time frame, and then she goes on about the actual the studies and the research that are behind it. Now, going back to the first article, you can see right here very quickly. Where did it go? The undue effect of time pressure. So basically the narrative here is saying that no, women can't do math properly because they're too far under pressure. So if we alleviate their pressure, then they'll do math properly.
Yeah. Then, yeah, exactly. Then, then blank, then profit.
Yeah. So if that's good for the goose, is it good for the gander?
Well, exactly. And that's my question is, how is this not considered unbelievably condescending?
Yeah.
Like, so condescending that this is more sexist than, like, Milo Yiannopoulos saying feminism is cancer. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just demeaning. I don't understand why people aren't angry about this.
Well, in some academics reportedly voiced their concerns about the initiative, calling it sexist, for suggesting women require special treatment. But others welcome the move.
Sexist.
Well, again, here it comes back down to another double standard here. Some agree that this is a great move, others agree that it isn't. So it comes back down to, who is right, who is wrong? And unfortunately, in this case, I would have to say that anybody who is saying that women need a hand up in order to get a proper, test score ain't helping the situation.
No, it's not.
Because there are places in the United States that are going with the racial academics, meaning that if you hit a certain racial quota, you'll get a little bit of a leniency on your tests and that. And there's a few schools that have been showing that, especially within the black student community, that their test scores are reducing, not increasing. They're actually reducing over 20% in just about every academics possible. So
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and this is giving black students time to perform better.
Yeah.
Right, and this is what's happening. And these race quotas aren't working for these particular students. Hell, they're not working for any of the schools because now the kids who are doing well, being Asians and whites, they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer the most because of the factor that
white. Sorry. Well, I couldn't resist.
I know, but they're going to suffer the most because of the factor that they're not the proper race. They don't have the proper gender.
It literally is being punished for being like good, and that goodness doesn't come from being born that way. It really doesn't. There's a reason why Asians, Jewish, Ashkenazi Jews, or white Indians tend to be very good at like science and STEM.
Yeah,
I'll just say STEM.
Well, STEM,
and it's because they work fucking hard.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, and it comes
back.
It
has nothing to do with like being naturally better at it. So why are they being punished? That's what I don't understand.
You're asking the wrong question. So it is one of those things. It's like I don't know. I don't get it myself. Because
I really wish they looked at those people who do well, and I'm going to talk particularly about like the Asian community because they tend to do incredibly well academically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not so well on the happiness meter, so we've got to factor that out. You can go, hey, listen, if you want to do well academically, you might need to sacrifice your happiness for a few years.
Well, yeah, no, and
and we need to be honest about that. Go, listen, you can't have both. You can't be happy and do well academically unless you're like some sort of gifted genius.
No, that is so true, unfortunately. That's so true.
But that's the thing. We don't speak reality to education anymore. It seems like the whole, everyone gets a ribbon idea has made it very, very difficult to get much further than that.
Yeah, that is true. And
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, you can also look at women and certain women who are bad at math, and they're going to say, no, it's not the fact that we're bad at math; it's the patriarchy that's causing us to be bad at math.
Yeah.
I know this is somewhat an old BuzzFeed thing. It came out in February of 2012, but it's
2017. So it's about a year old.
Okay, about a year old. Okay, thank you. I couldn't see the actual number because of the thing in the way. And it's blaming the patriarchy that 1 in 5 girls will fail at math in her life. And it all begins.
Why is it always 1 in 5?
Because it's either 1 in 5, 1 in 6. It's always one of those weird numbers. It's like 1 in 8.
But it's always like that very particular.
Yeah, and they're blaming the fact that it begins at a young age. While girls are toys, girls' toys teach us how to cook and be good mothers. Boys' toys are teaching them how to build stuff. Well, I'm sorry, but there are gender-neutral toys out there.
No, but not only that, but I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to be mean to them, but cooking is math.
Oh, yeah, we know cooking is math, but just don't tell them that.
Learning how to cook is math. If you apply that to your teaching and go, hey, look, what's 2 cups of flour? That's 500 mils. 200 plus 250, 250 plus 250 is 500. It's very basic math that you could teach a very young person about volume, about arithmetic, about multiplication, about, subtraction. And they would absorb it and let's just talk about these gender stereotypes work. They would absorb it like a fucking sponge.
Well, there we go. Well, let's cover this one just a little bit before we can continue on to this particular topic point. Stereotypes. Yeah. By the way, hey Draconeth, have you seen your uploaded 6-minute show that we did? What you missed? You didn't miss much. You just missed ALISON TIEMAN, the scary thing that is. And we're right now covering the first portion of this math. The girls who need to have more time in order to complete math tests. And what did you think of it? I just want to get more of a reflect from the dragon to see how well.
No, that's okay. I can wait.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, that's okay. The audience, I don't think they can read these messages, but that's okay.
The one problem is that somewhere along the line, the chat bar that's supposed to go on the side there, the big black portion that's there, it broken, and I really can't fix it at the moment because we're in the show. So I will like to redo that much later, but. Looking at this particular new overlay, what do you think of it?
I think it's very pretty.
Okay, there we go. Getting back to the actual show. Stereotypes is what we're going to go into. Is the factor that some stereotypes are good and other stereotypes are kind of bad. Now, stereotypes in general could be considered a social construct, meaning that they were created through the society. Now, whereas certain narratives that we are pretty much embedded into us. They're naturally found. There's the in-group, out-group, kind of association that we all have, where if you're not part of the tribe, then you could be considered or misconstrued as the enemy until you've been proven to be beneficial for the tribe. Right? These particular stereotypes are a good thing because of the factor that it's a safety mechanism. Another case in point, we'll take it in modern times. You're going to your boss's, let's say, dinner party or gathering. Okay, he's going to his party or their party, right? And you know that your boss tends to dress up nice, prim, and proper. Are you, an employee, to try to make a good impression on your boss, going to go in there with jeans and flip-flops?
Of course not.
what are you going to do?
You're going to dress up try and dress up as nicely as you can.
Okay, there we go.
Would be the thought.
So right there, that's a stereotype, because you've already placed your boss in a position where you think that person always is dressing up nice and proper. And so that the party that you're going to go to, it's going to be a proper, dress party. So these are things that, though are kind of bad in some way, they're good because, again, you're trying to make a good impression on said person, and these are a proper narrative.
These are unconscious assumptions that you make to improve, like, how do I put this? Not society, but like to prevent yourself from getting yourself in danger.
Correct.
If you see a dark alley that's got no one in it, the evolution party says don't go down that alley.
Correct.
And the reason why, well, yeah, we're making a stereotype, but that stereotype keeps you alive.
Yes.
And that's not the same with maths, obviously. Maths is a very different reason why men might be, I guess, maybe more adaptable to learning maths. Let's just assume that's true for a moment.
Yeah.
Right? There's reasons for that, And once again, we got to accept, and this goes back to the original thing that we're really, really fighting the idea that men and women are different, This has been a battle that's been going on a lot more so over the last couple of years, especially, since transgenders and all that other stuff has become a lot more popular. That are men different? Are women different? How are they different? We really want to fight this discussion and kind of bury it, because if we don't, it brings about complicated questions.
Well, the problem is that, yes, men and women are different, like it or not, because there are studies that show that the brainwaves are much more different than when comparative to anybody else. When it comes down to, gay men have similar brain synapse as straight females. Transgenders follow within a different spectrum just a little bit, and their brainwaves will identify with the gender that they are trying to assimilate as.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the best way. That's the best terminology to use, because they are trying to assimilate. They're trying to gain what they believe has been lost, or become. Right. And unfortunately, when it comes down to girls like to have the prim and proper kind of dolly kind of things. Unfortunately, you can go across any of the primate species, and you can get a little boy ape and a little girl ape, chimp or whatever, and you put a doll in front of them, or in a truck in front of either. It doesn't matter which gender you pick, a truck and a doll. Chances are, a high percentage of them, especially if it's a girl, are going to flock to the doll. If it's a boy, it's going to flock to the truck. They may cross over here and there, but they're automatically going to go what they feel that's the most acceptable for them.
There's outliers, but yeah, this has been done, and which goes to show you that's not social.
No.
You can't be social with a creature that doesn't really have social capabilities, tends to follow in the same direction that a baby boy would versus a baby girl.
Correct. Correct.
But once again, we're fighting the argument here that that's reality, but people want to avoid reality for some reason. And once again, we're going to the reason. I don't know. I don't know why we're avoiding reality.
Again, because reality hurts, and it hurts people's feelings.
But does it? Does it?
It doesn't. The problem is that there's certain individuals who'd rather not deal with this particular type of issue. They'd rather, say, well, it hurts my feelings, and we shouldn't talk about it. So there. Well, if we can't talk about it, then how the hell are we going to fix it? It's like that it's like having that girlfriend who is mad. And you go, what's wrong? And she goes, nothing. Even though she's pouting in a corner somewhere, or you can see the pissed off look in her face, and she goes, nothing. And then you're like, okay, you sure there's nothing wrong? No, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you go, okay, cool.
Cool.
And they go, well, why are you so uptight with this? It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, you just said there was nothing wrong. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah. God. Anyways, and it continues on with this one. I like this one. And then when they go to school, they start learning math. The girl performs poorly to a large extent because they believe that they're not good enough to succeed. Now, I'm sorry, but this portion here, I'm not too sure where they get this this particular narrative.
Then when you go to school and start learning math, the girls perform poorly. They believe that
They believe that they're not good enough to succeed.
No. That seems baseless to me.
No.
Like, what's that based on? Okay, define believe, define good enough, and define succeed. You know? We've got three big problems here.
Yeah,
you
no,
need to define those three times. Because I don't know. I don't know if a girl believes. I don't know if a girl knows the difference.
Well, again, I'm kind of looking through this a little bit here. I know that they're focusing on the 5 girls in Chile and Mexico who failed to attend the baseline levels of proficiency in reading, science, and math in 2012.
Chile and Mexico.
Yeah.
So we're going to second world countries now.
Third world, if you want to consider that.
Well,
yes.
Well, no, I'm being generous.
Yeah, well, I think you can be generous.
No, because honest to God, because this is why I'll be fair.
Yeah.
In Mexico, if you go to Mexico City, the capital of Mexico, you can be fairly comfortable and somewhat safe.
Okay. Well,
right? And that's why I say, like, you can drink the fucking tap water.
Yeah, but
that upgrades you to second world country.
yeah, I guess. No, you can't do that in Mexico. You cannot drink the tap water in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, no, you cannot.
Okay, that's very good.
You need to have bottled water.
Thank you.
Montezuma's revenge. Unless you want to go poop a lot and pray that to God that your intestines don't come up with it.
Worm.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
It also continues here that girls get toys, stoves, jewelry, makeup, and dolls, while boys get cars, bridges. Bridges? Did you get a bridge as you were a kid?
No.
I'm assuming that you're a boy. At least I hope you are.
No. Well. Okay, I did though. I think it's called AMX. It's like those rally car things where like you click the things together and you pull the trigger and it goes around the.
Yeah. But look,
those things I could build a bridge if I wanted to.
Yeah, no, but it says bridges, that we get bridges as a boy. I
never got a bridge.
I
did get a chemistry set.
I did get building blocks, and yeah, I got a chemistry set to a degree, and I was told never to use it ever again.
Yeah. Did your one have what's it called, sodium phosphate in it?
Yes, it did.
I did. Yeah.
Yes, it did. I was told never to use it again. But no, I'm just looking at the list.
I think we both did the same thing with that shit.
Oh, hell yes, we did. Yes. But yeah, no, I just don't get their selection here. Bridges, it's just really weird. It was out of all the things, I mean, boys also get dolls themselves. They're called action figures, but they're dolls nonetheless. And
I play the shit with my dolls.
Yeah, I blew up my dolls a lot, so I also buried them.
No, I did put one in the microwave.
Yeah, well, I guess we all have done somewhere.
I got a bit of trouble with that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to continue. What's even worse is there's a conspicuous lack of female role models for young girls who want to get into STEM profession. Around the world, few mothers of 15-year-olds actually work in a STEM profession.
Whoa! That's a very specific category.
Yeah.
So you have to be a mother
who works in STEM,
15-year-old daughter, and also be in the STEM profession. Like that's like 1% of 1% of 1%. Even if we're talking about the men.
Yeah.
You know? Jesus Christ! Like, how picky can you get?
Apparently BuzzFeed can get pretty picky. Here's my other. In 2012, only 14% of women entering university for the first time elected to pursue a science-related field of study. Contrast with the 39% of men entering university in the same year. Well,
once again, this is a very specific statistic. Entering for the first time.
Yes.
And let's not even get into the fact that much more women enter university. So if you equal it out, I am sure that percentage, even though it's not per capita, that would be very close to per capita once you include all the women that enter.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So if you adjust that, because if more women enter, but just don't enter STEM, I think the numbers would be closer.
Possibly.
Maybe not the same. Maybe not the same, but closer.
I doubt it, but no. When it comes down to the career choices, this is what their next portion is.
Yeah.
Most women end up not going into science, math related careers because they think that it's for men. No, it's not the fact that no. Hang on. It's not the factor that they think it's for men. They think it's not for them.
I think it's not for them. But here's the thing: who the fuck is wording it this way? I don't think you could. If you ever went to a woman and said, "Why didn't you enter science?" and they went, "Well, I don't think it's for me because it's for men." They would never fucking say that. They would never say that.
The question or the answer to your question, the person who worded it this way, is Zima Rojo.
Fucking sounds like a bloody Japanese villain from an anime.
Probably, who knows? But
okay, I reckon if you ask them that question worded that way, you might be able to influence them into saying yes. That doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, but let's put it this way: when it comes down to it, women will pick a career based on what they believe that career will be. Statistically, more women get into psychology than men do. Statistically, more women get into teaching than men. Statistically,
we can help put an end to this macho shit because so many fucking men in science are known as macho.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they know what an astrophysicist is. They are not macho. Far from it.
Oh God. Anywho, so that was all cancer as hell.
Yeah.
So what have we learned from that?
We've learned from that they're even more. They hate women even more than like anyone I've ever met. They think they're basically incapable of doing things for the tiniest little reason, and they cannot take on pressure, which might be why they're not very good at math.
Probably, and the lack of accepting that stereotypes could be a good thing, and not necessarily a social bad thing, is also holding back people because of the factor that. While everybody is afraid to actually maybe hurt a couple of people's feelings during the process, they might actually find a way to better themselves in the long run.
I would hope so.
Yeah, we can only hope. So I know that you're an Overwatch player.
Yes.
And I know eventually we're going to probably cover this in the GNF, but I want to ask you a basic question. So Blizzard is now banning Overwatch players for toxic YouTube comments. Though this article has been updated, and basically Blizzard will be hunting down people within the social sphere to see if they done fucked up and said some bad feel words, and just to ban
Look
them.
at the ad in the corner.
I know, isn't it? I know, I love it. Yes, please, people, go to please go to One Angry Gamer and definitely click on their ads because their ads are beautiful. But not only are they trying to ban players for toxicity when it comes down to their Twitter account and whatnot, but they're also banning players for not playing the right characters.
Well, okay, I can explain this one, right? Because this is actually kind of complicated. Because there's a few different problems we're talking about here. I'll talk about the one you just did there first, which is there are people who do what they call one-shot players, where like they are incredibly good at one specific type of player. Because like there's 5 different types. No, or is it 4? There's a healer or support, there's a tank, there's a damage guy, and then there's one called a defender.
Okay, hang on. Right? So let's put it this way. So you put it in a perspective of classic Dungeons and Dragons or the world of World of Warcraft, where any basically mass multi player based game on an online perspective will have one particular archetype. For example, when I play WoW, I tend to play as a support character.
Yes.
And I'm really good as a support character. If I trample off to another character-based arc, I suck.
No, but the difference is in this game, right? Is you kind of need to have at least 2 different players you're good at, because different situations require different types of players. You know what I mean? Like when you're doing like a capture the flag type thing, or defend the base is what they call it.
Yeah.
You need a particular type of characters. And if someone is a character that isn't suited for that, but they're still very good at that character, it might, prevent team cohesion from working. So I can understand why they've got a problem with it. But once again, the point of the game is to play it the way you want to play it. You can't, like if someone wants to play Hanzo, who's like a very easy to kill guy who is basically a sniper, that's their problem. That's your problem, not theirs. Just stop playing with them. You can ban them so you don't have to play with them again. I don't get why you're making it everyone's problem that one guy wants to be a particular character all the time. Even though I see why. It can fuck with your game. There's been plenty of times I've lost a game because someone was determined to be a sniper when they either weren't very good as a sniper or wasn't appropriate. It was the wrong map or the wrong battle type.
Okay.
So it does affect gaming. It does affect your wins.
Yeah.
And your wins do affect your placement, right? So I can see why that's a problem. But once again, to fix that, you just ban that guy, and you never have to play with him again. You can do that yourself.
Yeah.
You can block a guy.
Yeah.
You'll never have to deal with him again.
I don't know. I just find it kind of a social justice term problematic.
No.
Not the fact that you're banning individual players, but forcing players, especially your player base, who may have a strength in one particular archetype, one particular class type, and you say, well, in order for you to play my game, you have to play every character of every gender of every race because we built them for a reason. I'm not arguing
that. I'm recommending, if you want to get the maximum enjoyment, I say at least have 2 favorites.
Okay, right? but what happens if your 2 favorites are 2 white guys?
Well, if you have 2 favorites and they still don't improve, that's their fucking problem.
Let's see, there we go. And that's basically
right, because here's the thing: you can have, let's just say, I'm going to say a high damage character, and maybe a that you're good at, which I do have, called Sombra. And then I have a character that I'm good at that's a support character. So I've covered the 2 most important bases: damage and healing.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's got a problem because, I'm not getting enough kills with Sombra, well, alright, I'll be Mercy, who's very good at healing. And if they've got a problem with that, then they can suck a dick.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Have 2 characters. To enjoy it more yourself, by the way. That's not just for everyone else.
Yeah.
That's for yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if you demand to have the one character that you think's OP, that's your own problem, and you'll end up having less fun because less people will want to play with you.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. It should be a meritocracy that way. If you demand to be a pain in the ass, you suffer the social consequences.
Mm.
Hey, I'm not saying you need to be forced. I'm saying that you suffer the social consequences for being not a team player in a team game.
Yeah, I get it.
No, Penina's mad at me.
Again, Pen is always mad at everything. So she's probably mad at me because I'm spending too much time with you boys. No.
I want to see Penina's argument to this, or her side. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. Then tell me how.
Okay, when you do these things, you may want to read out the actual chat.
Okay, sorry, you're right. Okay, Penina did in capital letters, but you don't need to be forced to play 2 characters. Nemo. No.
And then Dracon is with his eyes.
Yeah.
I love Dracon with his eyes.
I want to see what her side to this is. Because I'm not saying you need to be forced. I'm saying that if you're going to be a bad team player, you're going to be treated as a bad team player.
Yeah.
So I'm not even saying you have to play 2 characters. I'm just saying, once again, if you're playing a character that is inappropriate for that team,
and Apparently Nemo's willing to listen to you type it out. We are getting close to the end of the show, so I was going to wrap this up with
Yes, I am. I'm willing to wait.
I know. So, anyways, as Nemo was going to wait, I'm going to try to wrap this up with basically going back to the idea of stereotypes. Stereotypes are not always typically a negative characteristics that associates with most of the majority of the group. And in some cases, it can be presumed as a positive. Whereas, okay, then we'll argue this at GNF. I like that idea. Though it be considered as a positive for some. For example, Asians are good at math, women are good at nurturing. These things always look good for the overall individual. So it gives kind of like a hand up to each group in that. So maybe you might want to go out there and give people a bit of more or less positive reinsurance when it comes down to the stereotypes, and less about their negatives.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, okay, let's end this out then on a positive stereotype for women.
Okay.
So what's something that they're far more skilled at than boys?
Making a sandwich. On that note.
No. I was going to say writing. They tend to be much better at English and literacy than boys.
No, I was ending with a joke, telling them to go into the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
No, I get that, but I thought I'd end it on a positive note. Because,
I know.
You know,
So
I'm a generous guy. I can admit, hey, if men are better at math in general, they've got to have something other than their sandwich making abilities.
But I like their sandwich making abilities. They make some really good sandwiches.
I made Panina so mad. I can't wait to be yelled at by her.
Well, again, that is going to be on the GNF. All right, So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be trying to wrap this one up. So please hit that. If you want to, please join us. Hit whatever I want to say. Like, subscribe, and comment, and all that other jazz. But that's for the YouTube side of things, which this will eventually get uploaded to. Do you have any final words, Nemo?
No. Well, I'll say toxic players are awesome on Overwatch. That's what I'm ending with.
All right. With that note, this is the Canadian Rogue, and that was Nemo. This was the Red Pill Compendium. Offering the truth and nothing more. I wish you all a how do you want to end this one? Because this is yours. So do you want me to
fuck off?
All right. All right, guys. Have yourself a nice fucking day, you cunts.
You fucking cunts. All right, I'm going to the general.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?